All right, we are back. Okay, so we cut from Alice Foundation drawing her sidearm, half blind, probably more than half blinded by the pepper rounds. And we cut outside the cockpit to Starfall and Bert. So, Pitchfork. Bert's being thrown into the Karasu. Take level 2 damage, both of you.
I wanted junk armor.
Alright. What about the Karasu?
It is currently unpiloted. So I don't think there's going to be any resisting of that damage.
You could junk something.
Could I also junk armor?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Alright. So, the two combat Avis of the squad crash into each other as Starfall hurls the massive Bert into the slightly smaller Karasu. Both of their armors are ripped clear of their frames, with the working mechanisms underneath now exposed to the elements and any return fire. Pitchfork, what do you do?
This is the only thing I know how to do. So we're just gonna keep going at it.
And what does that look like?
I think actually that like with the armor stripped off, basically Bert's actually faster and easier to maneuver. So I'm like, I think that I've probably not piloted Bert like this before much. So there's like an element of predictability because I'm also not totally sure what I'm doing, but I've also piloted some lighter mechs as practice probably. I think I want to like go low and get the jackhammer like under Starfall and launch it into the air a little bit.
This is so good.
All right. What are you rolling for that?
A battle.
Yeah.
We're in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I? I don't. No, I do want to spend this. Easy to learn, hard to master. For an extra die.
Okay. This is going to be This is going to be desperate standard because now you have Lady Elreth's full attention as the Savannah Sovereign is oddly still.
Even with the fine heavy melee weapon.
Yeah, the reason you had great before is because you were putting all of your weight into it.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, that is 3 dice, desperate standard. It's a 5.
That's a
Oh,
5.
boy.
Okay, gonna add 2 ticks. All right, so you jab into the bottom of Starfall and fire the jackhammer, and it sends Starfall up into the air. But as you do that, you realize that, well, you did indeed damage Starfall in this action. It would not have launched if Starfall was not rolling with the blow. And it jumped more so than it was launched. And you realize that in doing so, the 4 arms that it used to jump are now all aiming at you. And so you get lit up with missiles, machine gun, flamethrower, and a laser cannon from each of those arms. So take the level 3 damage. Wrecked.
I want to junk the anchor system, which I'm guessing that only reduces it.
It'll drop it to level 1 damage.
Okay.
Tell me how you use the anchor system to take the blow.
I think originally, so I said I was going low, right? I think I was also digging in with the anchor system, so I'm like, a lot of the most exposed like outside bits are the anchor system itself as I'm like crouched down and firing, so that takes the brunt of the damage. And I also want to do meat is cheap again for the level 1.
Okay. I think that'll be level 1 harm battered, as like the missiles rock Bert, and you bang around inside. You're just gonna be all kind of bruised up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Alice still has a couple of rival moves left.
Woo!
Tower.
Yep.
She begins like essentially blind firing her pistol into the small cockpit.
Okay.
You are chained to the wall. Take the level 3 harm chest wound.
Oh, Jesus fuck!
Can I
Damn.
resist that?
How? You are chained to a wall. I'm not saying you can't, but
I'm going to mark off my fine security cracker, because I was already going to have done that. And I'm going to have... Can I, like, say I've been working on getting myself out of these cuffs? And I just, like, drop to the floor as soon as she starts firing.
I think this is actually a flashback.
So it's a flashback and then a resist?
Yeah, but it'll be less damage because you'll have if you succeed, you will have flashback to being in a better position.
So is that... Am I just rolling finesse for the flashback as opposed to...
So, okay, it'll be 1 stress for the flashback, and then you'll roll finesse to open the handcuffs. If you succeed, you will no longer be in a desperate position because you are no longer handcuffed to the wall. So it won't be level 3 harm you're taking. It'll be level 2.
Okay, I can take a level 2 harm. I've already got one, so, like, it's not going to make much difference. So I am going to roll that finesse.
Okay, let's see if you actually get out of the handcuffs before you get shot.
And this is desperate?
Yeah, I would say so, considering, like, your position. The consequence
Desperate
being
standard?
that you're going to get shot.
Desperate standard?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 dice.
Finally, the fine security cracker.
5.
That's a 5. There you go. So yeah, you got out. And so you got shot for level 2 harm.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I think in the process though, like you see, I think you're like working on the lock on the handcuffs with your fine security cracker, and you hear like the first bang as Alice is firing, and like if you just had a couple more seconds you could get this done gently, but you're just like, fuck it. And so you have to break your security cracker to open the handcuffs before, and then like you drop down, and instead of getting shot in the chest, the arm that was like in the handcuffs takes a wound. So take the level 2 harm arm wound.
Alright.
Scarecrow. You take level 2 harm as well, as she is blind firing inside the small cramped cockpit. So, yeah, that is. Where do you get shot? I think you get shot in your thigh.
Sure. I'm. I don't really have the resources to resist this. I just don't. Like I can't risk stressing out at this exact moment in time.
Huh. Well, she has no more rifle actions. So, do either of you want to do something now?
I leave this one to you, Ray.
I think.
I facilitated.
Um, I think the camera sort of zooms in and we see like Tower's face journey here. Going from like sort of desperate and panicked at, you know.
Sorry to interrupt. I need to step away quickly.
Okay. I will save Tower's face journey. Our city now.
No mods! Anarchy! 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 Attica! Attica!
Sorry.
Attica! Attica! Sorry.
Cat jumped up on the stove, and I didn't know if the stove was on because it was earlier.
Oh, dumb baby.
Okay. Instead, he was actually just trying to steal the freshly cooked buns on the stove.
Evil dumb baby.
Yes, he's a criminal. Okay. So sorry for interrupting your moment. I wanted to make sure there was not a vet journey in my near future.
Yeah, no, that's fair. So I think we sort of zoom in on Tower's face as it goes from like panicked and like desperate as they're struggling with the security cracker and the cuffs to sort of they're like crouched down on the floor trying to avoid fire, and it just turns from like panic to just like immediate sort of like their face kind of softens and they look sort of concerned and scared, but not in like worried. And I think they sort of I think they point up to the hatch, point up for Scarecrow. Not saying anything, but just sort of making a motion of like, I've got this, you're needed elsewhere kind of thing. I don't know if she takes that direction or not.
I think she will.
Okay. And I think sort of like, I don't even know if I have anything to mark here. Did we say, yes, we were wearing environmental suits, so I wouldn't be affected by the pepper spray bullet thing, right?
Yeah, sure.
I just remember we said that. And I never marked it off, but we said that at the beginning because we were going in through the river. And I think they just sort of like, almost like, I mean, is it okay if I sort of frame stuff?
Yeah.
I think it's sort of like Alice sort of blind fires for like a solid minute, and then eventually the gun clicks out. And when Tower hears that, they sort of just like still keeping low, just make their way over to her. Like, I think would they have like medical stuff? I don't know. I don't know if they'd have like a first aid thing. But like even just like,
Would you know where she keeps hers?
yeah. I mean, probably.
There's probably like a first aid kit on the back of the cockpit chair.
Yeah, just like, or even just like put like a face mask on her, just like make sure she's breathing okay. And I think they just sit with her for a minute. I don't know how coherent or like even really conscious she is at this point, but I think they just like sit with her and make sure she's okay.
Okay.
And I assume at this point the Savannah Sovereign is like grounded.
Yeah, it's definitely been still for a while at this point. I don't think I'm gonna roll for this. I don't think I'm gonna have you roll for this. I'm just gonna add that last tick. Because I mean, she's, you know, she's out. Like really, she had that last bit of fight in her, and you've what's that ability you've got?
Yeah, that's sort of what I was going for. Good-hearted. When you
Yeah.
act compassionately with more than just words towards a foe, you keep a controlled position until you act against their interests.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you just like tend to her and like help clear her eyes out. And you can hear the fight continuing on outside without the two of you, but it's muffled from in here. You can see it going on the cockpit screens, but it's distant from in here. And is there anything you want to say to her?
I think Tower says, I think they sort of guide her to her sort of cockpit chair. I think they like make sure she's okay. And they say like, don't take this as a sign of forgiveness. That's not what this is. I'm not going to leave you here to die. We'll talk later. And I think they take like 5-10 minutes, make sure she's okay. Set up, I think, like some sort of very basic like security things. Like I think they like put like a little. I think they leave like a pawn computer with her. Make sure that they can track where she is and she can get to them if she needs to. And then they climb up out of the mech and go and join back up with the group.
As you're climbing out, you just hear quietly say, "Thanks."
We'll talk. Don't worry.
You get a ping on your AR that she sent you, like, contact info.
Okay, yeah. I think we get like a little shot of just like saving it. I think pan away.
Alright.
You guys are now friends on MySpace.
So what does Scarecrow do when she leaves the cockpit? Very painfully, I would imagine, between the shot thigh and dislocated arm.
Yeah, she's gonna make her way back to the Karasu, but she's going to take her time with it. No acrobatics. Just actually, I think what she might do is actually go down to the ground and use the ladders properly.
Okay.
That thing she never does.
Yeah. So you're able to grab your machine pistol on your way out. I'm not gonna deny you that. You're gonna need some kind of roll to get back to the Cross's cockpit, though, because there is still a mech fight going on between Bert and Starfall.
Okay. Fuck. It's gonna have to be Prowl. This is gonna hurt. -1D, less effect.
This will be risky standard. Oh, with less effect, risky limited.
Oh my fucking god, I'm a cripple. This is gonna... Here lies Scarecrow, defeated by a
That's a 6. That is a 6. Okay, so in spite of your grievous limb-based wounds, you are able to drag yourself back to the Karasu's cockpit. And meanwhile, Dredge, what are you up to down in your y'all know that picture of ceiling cat poking out through the tiling in the like classroom or whatever that is? I'm just imagining that's basically the magpie.
Yeah. Okay. So, what does this room look like?
Basically identical to the one that you found in the Twinler and Red headquarters. A bunch of interfaces, all facing the same direction. Designed for there to be like a dozen people working here. You can see that a bunch of the like, basically all the consoles are on. It's all powered up. You can see. You know what? I think that's all I'm gonna give you with just asking. If you want more, it's gonna be like gathering information.
Okay. What I would like to do is, I want to, circle the magpie, around the consoles, with the Nell pointed out, and then just ramp the Nell to max, to repel people so that I can access the consoles, without being bothered.
What do you want to roll for this?
That's a fine question. I reckon it's a maneuver.
Yeah, okay. I'll allow that. This will be risky standard.
Okay.
Unless you have reduced effect with vehicle actions.
I sure do.
Uh-huh.
So
Risky. Oh, you've got 2 level 1 damages. I think this will be 0 effect.
Jesus, okay.
Because of the, like, you're trying to maneuver yourself in, like, carefully around these machines to, like, create a barrier with the magpie's body, but, like, your arms are mismatched, and so trying to maneuver yourself in this relatively confined space isn't going that well, and your shell is singed, so it's not stretching in the ways it should.
Okay.
I mean, you can push for effect.
No, I could do something else.
I mean, you're gonna have -2 effect with basically anything you do, because you've got those 2 level 1 damages.
Okay, I didn't know that those stacks. That's good to know. Well,
Fine tools will help. Oh. Actually, sorry, no. Y'all have upgraded everything. You would be limited effect.
okay. All right, back in the game.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Excuse you.
Maybe it's Okay. All right. You tell me how this pairing suits you. I think what I will do instead is I'm going to put the magpie. I'm going to circle it on the ceiling and just open up the Nell to cover the entire place. I have a suit that counteracts the Nell, so it won't bother me, but it will bother everyone else. I want to spend anti-infantry defenses to do that. Or mark that. I think that's my last load. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do you want to roll for this?
Um. It's not my finest thing, but it is kind of no. It's not bombard. That's not what I'm doing here. I don't know what this kind of suppressing thing is.
The clear answer is battle. I know that's not what you want to hear, but
No.
that is the close quarters combat action for vehicles.
Well, I'm spending to get a die anyway. So sure.
Spending the Nell?
Yeah.
Your last quirk, too.
Yep.
Okay.
So what's my things on this?
This risky limited because of the damage the magpie has.
Even with upgrading anti-infantry defenses?
Oh, good point. Okay, risky standard.
Okay. Risky standard 1 die. God damn it.
That's a 3. Okay. So, so what was your plan? Was you're gonna suppress them with the Nell and then get out and go to the consoles?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they're suppressed. You see them like backing out of the room and like they're taking cover, and like they are not like firing their submachine guns at the magpie or something.
Cool. Okay. Listen, I failed that roll and you're making it work, and that makes me really nervous. Okay, alright, I'll get out of the mech. And I'm gonna go to the fucking consoles and see what I can see.
Okay. The screens are all scrambled.
Eso no bueno.
Right. Okay. Fuck. Well, that tracks. Fuck.
Is that just what we hear from Dredge?
Yeah.
Just sees it and fuck. You want a minute to think about this?
Yeah, you know what? This is. I think this is literally like Dredge sees the screen, looks over it, sees the Shadesphere who have been repelled out of the room, and like looks up at the Nell and then back at the fucking scrambled screen and just sort of sits down in the rolly chair. Shit.
Yeah. Okay. Pitchfork.
Did the rest of us hear that?
Probably.
It's
It's
that
not-
like tiny bit of static from the material between us. Just fuck.
It's not like it's not a I'm in danger swearing. It's a fucking this didn't work swearing.
Yeah.
It's just like disappointed, just fuck.
God damn it. Yeah.
All right. I need to be back momentarily because cat crimes.
No, not cat crimes.
Oh boy.
Monster.
What's worse than cat crimes? Player crimes.
I've committed many of those.
I'm the Gungeon Gaster.
He took a bite out of 2 of them. Just like a little bite. 3 of them.
Did the cat steal some buns? I'm so proud.
Boy.
Did the cat steal some buns? I'm so proud.
Those are big bites. Can't
What
really
a
get in there.
talented kitty.
Lame.
Oh my goodness.
So talented.
All right, sorry for that interruption. Where was I? Ah, yes. Okay, so Pitchfork. I think out of like the corner of your eye, you can see Scarecrow bringing herself back to the Karasu. The Sovereign remains still and unmoving. What do you want to do?
I want to say, go help Dredge. I'm gonna use this stim pack.
Woo!
All right. So you want to read out what the stim pack is?
An injector filled with a drug cocktail giving a burst of energy, resilience, and aggression. This will modify your position and effect as suitable, gain 2 consequences, can't tell friend from foe, and destroy everything which can be resisted as normal.
You gonna resist either of those?
No.
All right.
That fills up the remaining 2 harm, except for the level 3.
They aren't harm. It's just consequences
aren't?
that
They're
last
just consequences?
until
Okay.
end of the scene.
That's good, actually, because I am running out of harm slots real fast.
You need those to protect Bert.
Yeah.
Okay. So Pitchfork is now supercharged. What are you gonna do?
You said there were rockets in the Sovereign's Lance, right? On the back?
Sure.
What? Is it possible to activate those if I rip it out of the Sovereign?
It sounds anime as fuck. I'm good with that.
Am I still in the Sovereign while you're doing this?
Oh, I think so.
Oh boy.
I think this is happening while you are spending those minutes looking after Alice.
By the way, I just want to put this out there. I can only assume Pitchfork's limited information because she's seen Scarecrow leaving someone else's mech, so I think she can only assume that Scarecrow's done a Scarecrow and killed someone again.
Yeah. Like, it's over in there. I need this thing. If it's gonna jump around and I can't hit it right, then I just need to pin it down somewhere. Is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. All right. So is this then a setup action to pin it to the ground?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
So you grab the rocket lance off of the Sovereign. You've got the jackhammer in one hand and the. Do you still have your shield, or did that get junked?
It's junked.
Yeah.
Everything is junked except for the jackhammer.
Oh Jesus, Bert is in bad shape.
But no damage taken yet. I still have room to work.
Okay. So you're slamming the rocket lance into Starfall. What do you want to roll
Yeah.
for this?
I mean, this is just another battle, I think. You can only increase those during downtime, right? The actions.
If you filled your XP, I'll let you add another one.
I sure did fill out expertise, and I sure am taking another point in battle.
That's called learning on the job.
It is. Bert dropped his limiters.
Yeah. All right. So, this will be Desperate Standard.
Even with the stim pack?
Okay, it'll be Risky Standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've now got the reflexes to try and keep up with Starfall on even footing.
All right.
And if you pin it, you'll have increased effect or position as appropriate going forward until it gets unpinned.
Cool. So 3 dice, risky standard battle. That's a 4.
That's a 4. Okay. So you two are circling each other, and you make your lunge, and it goes faster than Starfall is expecting because of the rocket. Normally, the lance would be traveling at the same speed as the AV, but because Bert also does not have rockets, it just sort of flies out of your hands somewhat.
Yeah, I was
And-
sort of imagining that, like, the Incredibles thing with the claw and the... where he's, like, holding the rocket claw and it just, like, shoots out.
And
Adding that to my touchstones.
it pierces through one of the limbs on Starfall and pins that limb to the ground. And so Starfall like goes to lunge at you, and I think the rocket lance grabbed you or dragged you forward a little bit, and it manages to grab onto the arm that was holding onto the lance, and because of it being the limb that is pinned, it's not able to get any closer, but it puts one hand on like the because Bert has 4 legs, puts one hand on like the forward legs and grabs Bert's arm with the other 2 and just rips Bert's arm right out of the socket. So take the level 2 damage disarmed.
Both arms or just one?
Just one. The one that was holding the lance.
Okay.
As you are sort of like stumbled forward with that arm out.
Can I live with that? Can I live with that? I still have one more. Oh.
A question about quirks. So when you spend the quirks, then the mech is taken out of the scene. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's basically unless you choose to take a dire action with it, it essentially becomes unavailable until it has had time to get maintenance.
Okay.
I'm gonna do meat is cheap again. And this time it's because the cockpit is now exposed. I can see this coming, and like react with the anti-armor weapon to shoot it at close range, so it doesn't do like good damage necessarily, but it stops me from being grabbed. But it's the shockwave
The back
hits me
blast.
because it's just
yeah.
too close. Yeah.
So would you say it's accurate to say you're doing a bloodborne parry with a rocket launcher?
Yes.
Yikes. Okay.
Incredible.
Bloodborne parry against a mech-sized thing.
This is the best.
Okay, so make that the level 2 harm. Broken ribs. I think the shockwave from the blast just like breaks some of your ribs.
Yep.
But it is now pinned. Scarecrow. Pitchfork has pinned Starfall to the ground with the Sovereign's Lance and has told you to go help Dredge. What do you do?
Okay, I have a couple logistical questions here. Well, mainly one. How does one get to the control room?
There's an elevator from the crane control room, and there's also a hole that the magpie dug through the wall through like the back wall.
No. I mean, okay. So 2 questions. One, is the hole like ground level, or is it like closer to the ceiling because that's where they started?
Sasha, I think that's up to you to answer. Is it the hole that the magpie went through at ground level or up by the control room?
Oh, ground level. And I think it's I think instead of a zigzag, I think it's a spiral. That makes the most sense to me.
Okay. Because my one thing was like, okay, if I have to go up to the crane control, and it's a ladder, fuck that.
What a
but
thrill.
still, you know what? Oh boy, this is gonna get messy. But she's gonna radio. She's gonna say, "Tower, go help Dredge."
Everyone passing the buck. Okay.
She's good in her mech right now. That's all she's good for right now. She is fucked up.
Okay.
Am I still with Alice at this point?
We'll go to you next.
But she's going to transform the Karasu. The armor plates fold back in.
What
The
armor plates?
rails- Yeah, no, like
non-existent.
the burnt and twisted armor plates, like just kind of like full. Like you know when you've got like a toy that transforms and like stuff's misaligned and it just kind of like instead of going flush, they all like rest like jutting out weirdly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. But it does extend the railgun, and she has to switch cockpits to do this. And I think that's like a really kind of painful journey. It's like she's descending the ladder with one hand, she bumps her shoulder against the wall, and she gets into the, artillery cockpit. And she's gonna put, since I haven't used any specialty I haven't used any specialty rounds in for the railgun recently. Not in a couple of missions. I think I'm gonna declare that for this mission, they're armor piercing.
Yeah.
And so, let me check my sheet to see exactly what I'm rolling, but I would like to use Bombard. And I would like to push by expending the optical cockpit. And what that's going to be is that's just going to be blowing the canopy.
Yeah.
It's like it's still there and it's like covered in broken glass shards, so it's just going to be shoots off. So she is now like open to the elements.
Yep. Okay. So this
That's my position in effect. Keeping in mind, let me look at my damages.
You've got level 1 banged up.
Yep.
Yep. This is going to be desperate because you've got 2 enemies on the field.
I'm
To
cool
your
with
1. This is also going to have reduced effect because of banged up, and reduced effect because you're using Bombard in this close-in fight. Like, you can still roll it, as always, but you have reduced effect here. So with that, I think you will be rolling Desperate Standard.
Desperate standard? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm pushing myself, so I'm going to take that for additional effect.
So Desperate Great.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a 6.
That is a 6. All right. So I'm going to add 3 ticks to the Lady Elreth clock. And so you line up that shot, which isn't too hard since she's pinned to the ground now. and you fire off that armor-piercing round, and it just takes, like, it's a cube, and it turns as you fire. It sees the shot coming, and so you don't get it, like, dead on, like, flat on the face, but even with the, like, glancing blow that you get, you still see you take a large chunk out of the cube. There is like a shattered, craggy divot. Divot sounds too small. Crater in the side of this thing now. And so I'm going to use one of Lady Elreth's rival moves, which she gets because she is Lady Elreth. Which is what she did when she threw Bert at the Karasu previously. Was expending
Is
two
Lady
of those.
Elreth everyone's rival? Is that the...
She makes everyone
be
her
her
rival.
Oh my god.
Rival.
But it's not her that inflicts the consequence. You fire. Pitchfork, tell me how you inflict level 3 damage on the Karasu. An enemy with a massive cannon just fired and narrowly missed you.
I mean, I think I even see it before that. Like, I see the shot lining up, the gun pointed my way, and it's taking way too long for you to be sitting there to take that shot. So I just, like, take a couple, like, I don't know how far, the cross is not actually that far from us right now, is it?
No, like I said, this had reduced effect because of the range was so close and bombard was somewhat inappropriate.
Yeah, it's like it's a fumikomi with a mech, basically. It's like footwork in, and it's really fast, and just the jackhammer straight in the middle of the mech.
Okay. What's the name of the damage that you inflict?
Cratered.
So the Karasu takes level 3 damage cratered.
Okay. Is this going to buy this? Okay, let me think.
If you've got stuff to junk it. This is
Oh
it.
yeah. Okay. So how much would I have to junk?
Just one item.
Just one item?
Yep.
I'm gonna junk the special ammunition.
Tell us how you use that to avoid getting directly slammed.
Okay, so what I think it is the Karasu isn't the fastest mech. So what happens is I believe that, you know, the magazines and all the extra ammo are stored kind of in the underside. And so she sees it coming and she starts pulling up to, like, you know, extend the legs as fully as possible to divert the damage. And so what she does is she slams an emergency purge and just drops the extra specialty ammo, which reduces the weight enough to get out of the way, enough to make that a glancing blow.
Okay, so that becomes level 1 damage, dinged.
Cool.
Alright, so Tower. You have tended to your ex. She's gonna be okay. You pop your head, you look out of the hatch, and you watch as Bert just narrowly misses, like, just smashing the Karasu with Bert's jackhammer. You can see that Starfall is pinned to the ground with the Sovereign's lance, but is still, like, spitting and fighting. What are you gonna do? Also, Scarecrow said, "Go help Dredge."
Fucking.
Pitchfork did.
No,
Oh wait, no,
no.
Scarecrow did. Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Scarecrow did too.
Yeah, I forgot that happened.
I-
It keeps getting passed around.
Ugh. Y'all, it's a disaster, guys. Okay, so I think Tower is going to engage their optical camo because what the fuck. And I think they are going to try and just like run their way along the side of the room. They just sort of say like, fucking got it, okay, I'm going. And then they like run their way across the side of the room, just keeping to the sort of sidelines. Takuma, do you think Tower knows what's going on with Pitchfork?
I mean, you were the one that was
Yeah,
there the other
exactly.
time, so I think
So-
you would out of anyone else.
Okay, yeah, so I think Tower is just trying to be as sneaky as they can be.
Okay, this will be risky great.
Okay. Prowl, baby. Sweet dice. That's a 3.
That's a 3.
Fuck.
Yeah. Okay.
Jesus.
All right. So I know what this is.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what happens is that you can get there sneakily, but it's gonna take you longer than you want because you keep having to like pause. Because even though no one can see you, there's still shit flying around the room. And remember, this like garage had a bunch of normal like 18-wheelers in it when you all arrived, which have now been just like kicked around like children's toys and are smashed and are still getting kicked around like refuse as the 3 active AVs stumble about each other. So you're having to pick your way through carefully. And so the consequence here is that you take a long time. Dredge. You're sitting there, and there's the open door where like Shadespeare went through. And you can like, I don't think you can really hear anything because the knell is going on. Right? And then one of the Shadespeare people, like, just for a half second, pokes their head like into the doorway so that you can see them. And they flip you the bird. And then they grab something. Like, it looks like they're just grabbing just like the air. Looks like they're grabbing the air. And then they yank out of the way, and an active camo tarp reveals a 50 cal auto machine gun just like in the doorway. And it's pointed at you. It's like it's a drone basically, an immobile drone.
Resist.
How are you resisting this, Tower?
I think it's just like, I mean, even like, I think it's just like putting themselves in more risk. Like it's taking routes where they're at risk of getting hit, and
I probably could have resisted that by closing the fucking door, but that's neither here nor there at this point.
yeah, but I have one more scar slot than you
That's
do.
true. That's speed, buddy.
So I'm assuming that's prowess, or what would that be?
That is that. Yeah, I think that probably is prowess.
Okay, that's 2 dice. And I want higher on this.
Yep, you want to roll high. That's a 3.
That's all of them. That's all of my slots.
That's all your stress.
Fuck.
Okay.
Woo!
So Tower, you reach the so you pick all the dangerous routes and you get through unharmed, and you rush down, you run as fast as you can down the spiral that the magpie dug, and you get to the bottom of it, and you can see into the command center. And Dredge is just like sitting in a chair. Well, what is Dredge doing?
Well, I've gotten up and I've closed the fucking door. I am like, I think I'm going from console to console, and like, and at one point I like climb back up into the magpie to see if I can redirect it, but no, I can't do that and risk the shade sphere coming in. And then I'll like go down and like take off my jacket and put it on top of one of the computers to see if that will. No, that's not helping. And like,
Okay, so Dredge is puttering around the command room trying different things, and you can see that, like, you can tell just looking through the hole in the roof, like, it hurts because the Nell is on full blast in here and you don't have Dredge's sound suit. But you're here now, and you got here before anything bad happened to Dredge. And I think that is where we are going to leave it for this week. And next week, we will likely wrap up this mission and perhaps do epilogues. Sound good to everyone?
Works for me.
So, Tower,
Yeah.
remember, anything you do next is going to be a dire action.
Yep. I'm gonna think about what scar I want to take.
Yeah, that's a good call, too. All right, I'm going to take us back to the talk screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
okay.
it was a
So,
4.
let's do XP.
hey.
Tower, did you address a challenge with stealth or evasion?
I did do that.
Yeah, take 2 XP. Did you express your history, tragedy, or opening?
I did do that.
Take 2 XP.
Okay, that fills my fills both my playbook and my prowess XP tracks. So I'm gonna take another thing in finesse.
Okay. Did you struggle because of your beliefs, scars, or quirks?
I don't know. I think I did, but I don't think I expressed it very well.
You
I
were
think I was
reckless, yeah. So take
Yeah.
an XP for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazingly, you did not get vindictive on the person who ruined your life.
I wanted to, but it didn't feel. It didn't feel sincere with how I'd been playing Tower.
Well, that's the thing with scars changing you, right?
Yeah.
But that's fine. What's done is done. Dredge, did you address a challenge with technical skill or mayhem?
There was an attempt.
Okay, take an XP.
Yay.
Did you express your history, tragedy, or opening?
I don't think so. Unless architect, I don't know that architect counts here.
No, I don't think it necessarily did. Did you struggle because of your beliefs, scars, or quirks?
I don't think so. I spent all the quirks. They were very useful.
Yes, that's another thing to consider. Mark a point of breakdown on the magpie,
3 out of 4.
and then think about whether or not you want to do any dire actions with the magpie next session.
Oh, likely.
Okay. Scarecrow, did you address a challenge with tracking or violence? Take 2 XP.
Violence.
Yeah. Did you express your history, tragedy, or opening?
I'm gonna say no today.
Okay. Did you struggle because of your beliefs, scars, or character? Quirks.
I'm
That
going
should
to
say
say-
quirks. Sorry, go on.
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. Because she struggled not to just straight up kill Alice. And also she is now in complete shit because she doesn't really believe herself useful in the logistics thing as much as she is in killing enemies.
Yeah, okay.
I think she willingly put herself in danger there.
Okay, take an XP for that.
So is that 1 or 2, or is that just?
I think that's 1.
Okay, that's fine. I was just expressing multiple things.
All right, Pitchfork. Did you address a challenge with violence or coercion?
There sure was a lot of violence today.
Yeah, take 2 XP for that big mech fight. Did you express your history, tragedy, or opening?
I don't like how long I've been piloting Bert came a little into play as a farming thing before that, but I don't think it was super relevant.
Okay. Did you struggle because of your beliefs, scars, or quirks?
I did take collateral because of one of my quirks. I think that is. Well, let me check beliefs.
Yeah, you did mention that you were slow and heavy, so you, Lady Elreth saw you coming, so you took the collateral die for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So take an XP for that.
And I think that's it.
Okay. Squad XP. Did you execute a successful delivery or acquire new clients or contraband sources? No.
Good lord, no.
Did you face off against challenges above your pay grade? Yes. Take 2 XP for both Alice and Lady Elreth.
Yeah, baby.
Okay. Did you bolster your squad's reputation or develop a new one?
Yeah, baby.
Baby!
I mean, I think both.
What? Really? What do you think is the new reputation?
Well, no, I think we bolstered both of our reputations.
Ah.
Merciful and duplicitous. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, stupid motherfuckers could be a new reputation.
I mean,
That's at least one.
You could also possibly get a new reputation of worthy from Lady Elreth, seeing you as being like a worthwhile
that.
target.
That's very good.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, I can do that.
So yeah, that's 2 XP. Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the squad?
Yeah.
There's some inner conflict happening.
I mean, I did just try to destroy the
That's true.
class.
Yeah, and Tower.
Let's be
it'll
real. You tried to murder me, and I'm okay with it.
It'll manifest more next session. Tower's some shit brewing.
Also, the whole like, hey, you know, it'd be really efficient if I put a bullet in the back of her head when she can't see me. No, don't kill them. Okay, fine.
I mean, I think what I want to say is Tower's vindication isn't necessarily towards Alice here.
Great. Okay. So yeah, take 2 XP for that. All right. So that is XP done for everyone. Whew. Thank you everyone so much for joining us on this Mech Fisticuffs adventure. We will be back again next Tuesday, hopefully, with what will almost certainly be the finale and epilogue of Beam Saber the Cenotaph. And then, likely the week after that, we will be doing a post-mortem of the campaign, where you can ask questions about both how the campaign went for the players, for myself, and if you want, also about the development of Beam Saber's rules over the course of the campaign. If you have those questions, please email them to beamsaberrpg@gmail.com with the subject line questions or post-mortem questions. And so you've got a couple of weeks to do that, assuming that you are watching right now. In the meantime, however, I'm Austin Ramsey. I am the creator of Beam Saber. You can find me on Twitter at NotAnIn, and you can find the rules for Beam Saber austin-ramsey.itch.io/beamsaber, or just Google Beam Saber RPG, and that should point you in the right direction. Joining me this evening has been Ray.
Hello, I have been Ray. You can find me on Twitter at RayRayTheGayGay, and you can find the game stuff I do at rayinthefog.itch.io.
Thank you. Also with us is Jess.
Hey guys, I'm Jess. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Quasinym, QUASINYM. You can also find my podcast, The Movie Morgue, your premier movie autopsy podcast, at Movie Morgue at Movie Morguecast on Twitter. You can find it. Just Google Movie Morgue. And remember, you can't spell Je suis stressant without Jess.
Also with us is Sasha.
I mean, technically, you're not wrong. I can Sasha find me on Twitter at Sasha_Renault. You can follow all my game dev stuff at TCabbage.
Thank you. And last but never least, Takuma.
Hi, I have been Takuma. My Twitter is at Takuma_Okada_. I have some games and music at NoRoadHome.itch.io, and I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/NoRoadHome, where I am starting to catch up on things that I am behind on because of finals.
This is why I promise nothing with my Patreon.
Smart, honestly.
Except for the development of Beam Saber. That much I promise. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us once again for the ending mission of Beam Saber the Cenotaph. And before we go, I just want to remind everyone to fight the war and not the soldiers. See you later.